time I turn around, now you are the feel. Jesus, you said I be a picking, no. Jesus, you said your love will cover me. Every time I look around, now you are the same. Every time I look around, now you are the feel. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, yeah. You know me, you know my name. Papa, you know my name, oh. Abba Father, yeah. You know me, you know my name. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yeah, yeah. Yelele, yelele, yelele. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pastor Sama.
Papa, you know
My
my
Father, you
name,
know me, you know my name. That is it. I want to tell every Ambazonian that the Father knows your name. And because he knows your name, he is taking care of you. Sorry for this very, very late start of our history. Some things came up and we needed to put them in place. But thank you for tuning in. Fellow Ambazonians, 21 gun salute to our defenders on home front. And of course, 21 gun salute to our population that is standing with us and standing for us. And 21 gun salutes to the Ambazonian people who are right here in the diaspora doing everything possible to have you know what is going on and supporting you. I want to tell Ambazonian people that in our history today, I will be giving you a very special announcement as to what is going to happen in the few days to come, because we know that Ambazonia is at war, and because of the genocide that La Republic has decided to met out to Ambazonians, the Ambazonian people have stood up to say no in this generation. Yes, this has happened a long time ago, as I have been telling you, and as I have been telling you, and I told you a few days ago how that we are very, very grateful with what is presently going on as a result of the resistance, and we are only sorry that our people are being killed. But of course, that is the price of freedom. Some people will have to go so that the others who will remain behind will actually enjoy the freedom that they are in for, or else everyone will be and will continue to be a slave till death. That our fathers were slaves and they have died as slaves, many of them in exile, does not mean that we who are today living as Ambazonians will also have to die in slavery. There is a people who, when they get up, they will want to let the other people know that we cannot continue in this dilemma. We cannot continue in this particular plan of the devil for a people who were born free, but today they are greatly found in chains. We cannot continue and we cannot remain in chains. That is why the Ambazonian person has risen up to tell La Republique, tell those at home front, and to tell the international community that we cannot continue in this slavery in the 21st century. And before we can present our case to this extent, is as a result of a number of resistance that the Ambazonian people have come up with just because they know their history. And because they know their history and how they have come from, they are making sure that they encourage the youths and the young ones who have been deceived throughout the years. Like I told you, that the ancestors are still saying that they are building the nation for the youths of tomorrow. I mean, ancestors who are still sitting on the throne and deceiving everybody that they are preparing for the youth of tomorrow. And they'll come up with their dirty speeches, lying speeches. And they'll tell you, well, what we are doing here, we are just doing it for you. And there's 80-something, 70-something, 90-something still struggling there. And then deceiving you that, look, I'm doing it for you. And some of us are there, say, yes, we understand. You don't understand anything. If you understand, you will go out there and tell the old people their time is up. And you step in to tell them that as their time is up, now is your time. And that's exactly what we have been doing for the past how many years? Our revolution is on course. On course in the sense that no amount of manipulation, lies, and blackmailing will stop us from pursuing what is real. And as a historian, I've gotten up to discover that everybody is claiming to be speaking the truth, or everybody is claiming to be standing on the way of truth. And there is only one taste that you can taste and know whether this is truth or is a lie. And that one taste of truth, for you to taste and know the truth, is action. As it is said, action speaks louder than words. It's action. We don't want to come here and begin to say like we are fighting one another. No. The ABC does not fight one another, but the ABC will not also sit quiet when lies are propagated there every day and make the gullibles to sit down there and believe the lies, follow the lies, and at the end of the day, it's like they have been put into a dark room. Fellow Ambazonians, I have been telling you, and I am still telling you, that in October 2021, the former Secretary of State for Communication was removed from office. In fact, he abandoned his office. And when he abandoned his office in the interim government simply replaced him. And he was replaced with Dr. Martin Mungwa, who is now the Secretary of State for Communication. And if you want to know the truth of what is happening, you will know from him. Now, for somebody to come up and impose himself and tell us that 20th May has been postponed, he has gotten intelligence, 20th May is going to take place on the 17th. And the 17th came and passed. And 20th May was not on that 17th, but it came in on the 20th. Ambazonian, would you continue to believe that lie? Please, let's wake up, because believing that lie continuously is an affront to the cause in which we are following. So I want to let Ambazonians know that we are dealing with a group of unscrupulous fellows who have hijacked and are running with the instruments and the institutions of the federal government of Ambazonia and still claiming that they are for Ambazonia. But I want to let you know that everything in this life, as quoted by the Secretary of State for Communications, Dr. Martin Mungwa, a few days ago in his broadcast, he said everything that has a positive has negative, and the positive cannot exist without a negative, which I agree with him. And sometimes most negatives that want to be relevant pretend to be positive. But how do you know it? You know it by tasting. Now, when I go through my history book, it says test and see. And it also says that when a prophet speaks, let the other people judge. So if you are a prophet and you are speaking and people are judging, don't think that they are out of the historical program or plan or out of order. They are just in order to taste, to prove whether what you are saying is correct or it's not correct. It's not by just talking. Now you notice the consistency of the federal government of Ambazonia, that in this consistency of the federal government of Ambazonia, we are pushing on and pushing on. Fellow Ambazonians, a lot of lies have been propagated and so many people have itchy ears, and when they listen to lies, they get confused. But at this juncture and at this point, we do not want you to be confused. That is why we decide to come on ABC, not only to debunk, but to correct that which has been said, which is not correct, and to tell you the correct thing so that you can know. Now, I wouldn't go back to the current events, which have actually become history, that we have actually underlined and spoken in so many fora, both in the audio and video forms, to let you know that the interim government, even though oppositions and coup plotters and disgruntled people have come in to cause schematics and fight and break it into pieces, because as it is written, divided we fall, together we stand. The good thing is that in all the lies that are being propagated there, we see one particular person who is attacked every day. And this person who is attacked every day, not by only one of the defunct, how do I call him? The former Secretary of State for Communication, but other honorable men. The name of this particular man in their mouth is like they should take a slate hammer and just finish with him. And unfortunately for them, just like everybody thought that the arrest of the 10 in Naira in 2018 was the end of the revolution, they still believe that with the taking away of this particular person whom they have taken to be in fact, he has given them reason to be on the air. They think that by taking him away, it will stop the revolution. But unfortunately, somebody that you do not put in a position, you can't take away that person. Oh yes, God puts and God takes away. And it surprises me that everyone is talking and calling God, which is very good, because he is the chief judge and he is the only person that has the authority to take somebody out of office. You can shout and shout and shout like the prophets of Baal, cutting themselves. Oh, Baal, hear us. Oh, Baal, hear us. That's the history book I'm reading. And I can see it happening today. We will deal with him. We will sue him. He will rot in jail. He will this and that. One person has become the sing song of Ambazonian people. Well, in the early days, I heard a parable that says that if you notice a fruit tree that is so delicious, the fruits are so delicious and good to be eaten, all stones will go on that tree to pluck some of the fruits. But the fruit tree that the fruits are sour and banga in the mouth, that very few people will throw stones. In fact, they may even trample on their foot if they happen to pluck one of them. And so Ambazonian people, home front, want to tell you that a number of lies are being sent out to you because, as we have been saying, people can talk and talk out of proportion. We talk what we can substantiate. And a tortoise goes about with his house on it very slowly, but steadily. The interim government is going very, very steadily executing this struggle with only one enemy in mind, and that is La Republique. And the president of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia in this interim government, Dr. Samuel Sarko Ekome, has been butchered, dried, and everything has been done and said, but he's still waxing and going. And the structures he put in place is what everybody is clamoring for. Even those who say that come out with their discrepancies that are not holding water, and they have gathered them for themselves systems that are broken, that have holes and cannot hold water. They're still shouting and using the structures that he put in place. I heard them talk about your LGA, talk about your county, talk about resource mobilization, talk about all of them. And of course, when this president came into power to 2018, he called upon God. And I also hear them saying, prayer warriors should pray so that the LGA and the other county people who are not coming for meetings should come. This needs prayers. I'm so glad. I'm happy to hear that, because the history of man is stronger, powerful, and worth listening to it when the man is no longer there. That is when the history is very, very strong. The testimony of a man is powerful, very powerful, when the man is no longer there. But thank God that the people of Ambazonia, even those who have declared themselves to work with La Republique, and they are attributing it to the person who originally started a fight against La Republique, that he's working with La Republique. We thank God for that. Why? Because in the course of doing this, we actually can see and we can recognize that God is at work. And so our history is very close to our nostrils and very near to our eyes. Though some have refused to see it, and some have refused to hear it, and they want to pave a way and create their own history. John Manga, the historian, was with us on this podium yesterday, and he made a statement that the federal constitution of La Republique was given to John Good Foncha to share with the people of Southern Cameroons. And when that was done, there was a propaganda made by Ahijo through the instrumentality and the counseling of France to also get in touch with the opposition party of La Republique of Ambazonia, of Southern Cameroons, that was led by Dr. Endele and the other people. And so he did not share the constitution of La Republique to the other people because he understood that Ahidjo was still talking with the other people on the opposite side and talking to him, who was in government at that time. What was that? That was a big game of divide and rule, making sure that if at all they were to sit on the table of negotiation, there would be discrepancies. They will not speak in one language. And I want to tell Ambazonians that that game has not stopped. It is the same game that is going on today. Yeah, it is the same game. And when you find people upon whom this game is played, what do they end up doing? They end up casting blames on one another. What we have been expecting to see the coup plotters carry out in these few months that they came on board with their group, I just wish they should change the name so that there should be no confusion anywhere if we are fighting the enemy. But they refuse to do that. I will now see surrogates coming out to declare some certain things that were provided by the interim government in 2021. Now suddenly in 2022, the things have surfaced, and they are telling us that it is the coup plotters that have given that particular material. I want to thank God for the LGA chair of Bali, who came out very strongly to tell the Ambazonian people, especially the people of Bali, that that material they are seeing is a material that was given by the interim government, that's President Sako, under the leadership of President Sako, of which we are making this little distinction because there is a coup that has taken place in the interim government, and somebody is still using the name of interim government to make noise out there, speculating a lot of stories that are not founded. You all know about it, and you have heard about it. And many of the stories that have been told, you have already heard that sincerely these stories are not founded because they are all lies. And there is no truth that can be a lie, and there is no lie that can be the truth. How do you know who is a liar? You don't need to go very, very far to know who is a liar. No. You just need to sit down and listen and test the spirits, test the language, test what people are saying. Then you'll be able to tell your story yourself. Yesterday, there was an audio vehemently shouting the name of an individual who is not even involved in that which, is going on per se, but the audio is going viral. I actually needed to count the number of times that President Sako's name was mentioned in that lawsuit, of which he doesn't even know. Sorry, not that he doesn't know, of which he is not even a signatory to the Ambazonian Foundation, but his name comes out there. I can hear the former, he is not the Secretary of State. When the Secretary of State, Dr. Mungwa, came out with his outing and told the Ambazonian people what is going to happen, this gentleman came out yesterday on audio and said a lot of things that are not founded. Just as usual, he will tell you today we'll see this. Oh, this one will not happen. This one is this and that. We are going to do this. We are going to do that. Empty threats. Now, he now calls a lawsuit in America, knowing fully well that it is in America. He calls it an empty threat. Let's wait and see, Ambazonians. That's not what I want to tell you here. The special announcement I want to make to you is that on Monday is the what? What date is Monday? Okay, we are already, today is Friday. I'm talking about Monday. On Monday, Comrade John Manga is going to come and open the can of worms so that we can see how far La République had planned to humiliate and to completely wipe us out. And even the people that were being used as instruments, they were amazed. They were flabbergasted. They were surprised with what the kind of wickedness La République has taken against Ambazonians. Now, today, we are not ignorant of their plans. And if we are not ignorant of their plans, what should we do? We have stepped out to make sure that the plans that they have been planning for decades is not executed in our generation. But guess what? As usual, and as foxy as they are, I heard somebody describe the meaning of a fox in one of the, I don't know where it was, but it described the foxiness of La République du Cameroon. And unfortunately, we see most of our Ambazonian folks that have our names claim to have come from some of our LGAs in Ambazonia, step into the shoe of the foxes to help La République deal with us. Again, I want to let you know that this is a battle from God and by God, executed by the people of God. Yeah, if you tell me that everybody is a person from God, I agree with you. But excuse me, if you are a person from God, as you claim, do you speak the truth? Because if you are lying, exaggerating, and believing that you will make it by lies, no, they have a limit. It will not work. So Mr. John will be with us on Monday at exactly 5 p.m. Amber time, and he is going to bring out to us some of the things that will again radicalize us, not to go into any compromise, but to take up a stand against La République. Now, some of our commanders, like I heard our brother Paul Nilong emphasizing, telling our brothers who are on home front to be very careful. Some of them have been calling me, and I believe that the numbers they have, they are the same numbers that almost everybody calls them. Well, our history has made us to understand that there are times that you need to hide your head. There are times that you need to go under the table and wait until when your enemy is relaxed that you are not there, then you surface. When we give this advice, the counter evangelist, not counter evangelism, I wanted to use it because we have what we call counter evangelism. The people who are countering and don't want us to go to homeland Boya, they will come up with their theories and do everything to punish you so that you can give up. But Ambazonians, the interim government is advising you, as it has always been the case, not to fall what my very good friend UN calls choco. If you fall choco for a short while, at the end, you have yourself to blame. Because if you have a house and you jump out from that house and go to your neighbor's house, if you go there for a visit definitely your neighbor will receive you as a visitor. But if you go there with your bed and your pot and your tables, you are not going there as a visitor, you are going there for residence. You are going to stay there. And so we are advising Amazonians not to carry your bed and your bucket and everything and go to a neighbor's house, because at the end of the day, you'll be thrown out. And very soon, some of you who have itchy ears that have been deceived by lies, and when the laws catch up with you, because Ambazonia is out to build its country again on the laws of the land, and the laws will respect nobody. A few days ago, I shared with you the secret behind the growth and the prosperity of South Korea, when one of the historians came out to make us to understand that discipline of recalcitrant people comes from the head. But La Republique made it in such a way that once you are called a delegate, which are called delegate, then you automatically become a god in the area of your jurisdiction, especially the slave masters who are speaking and using oppressive language, a language that we don't even understand, in our country, Amazonia. In the northern, what I call Savannah zone, they have one stooge there who has been sacrificed to Satan, and he's there trying to wield the power of darkness over our people, but he has failed. So also in the Atlantic zone, this one has been immersed into water and on the mountain, handing over to demons, trying to drive out the Spirit of God in these areas, speaking to our honorable men in a humiliating and very deplorable and disgusting language, meaning that they think that we have been conquered. But listen, between now and a few days, you will know who is on the throne. Is it God in Amazonia or Satan in La Republique? We will know. You know, when the battle is dragging on until the referee lifts up the hand of the winner, you will think that Satan has won. To the religious folks, especially those who have been brainwashed to believe that if you, a clergyman, tells an individual to defend himself with whatever he has in his hands, that you are encouraging murder, and that you are encouraging a fight, and that you are encouraging, somebody to take away his life, somebody's life. But no, we have read the scriptures and the history book very much upside down. When we read in Genesis, when the Lord told Moses, when the scripture was being written, and he said that anybody who takes away somebody's life, by somebody's hands shall his life be taken away. You say it's Old Testament. But when you say God blessed Abraham and gave him sheep and cattle and some, you say amen. But when it comes to some common things that are supposed to be understood, the same as you understand the blessings of Abraham, many people don't want it. They want the blessing of Abraham, but they don't want the sufferings of Abraham. They want to steal and take where they did not sow. And so, Amazonians, on Monday, Mr. John Manga shall be with us to tell us the reason this generation, with all the civilization and development and growth and technological advancement, why we should get up and don't let La Republique continue to deal with us. He will be telling us also where they came from and some of the deep-rooted secrets that have kept us in bondage this while. And I'm sure, I'm perceiving that he may be telling us of well-meaning Ambazonians that got up and were willing to set people free, but their mouths were rubbed with oil. Just like I read in history how that when Jesus died, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they quickly called the guards who actually saw the resurrection to go around and tell people that, look here, hey, the disciples came in the night and carried away this Jesus. And for that reason, they gave them money, that's bribe, to continue to say so. So also, people who have been bribed to fight this interim government, especially the leader of this interim government, Dr. Sako. Dr. Sako is the president. And president, in any sense, without an attachment of a physical person, does not mean Dr. Sako. If Dr. Sako gets somewhere and said, this is coming to you from the president of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, there are two meanings to that particular word. The president of Ambazonia does not necessarily, in this sense, depict Dr. Sako because his name is not mentioned. It could be him, it could be the presidency, but because he is sitting in there to defend and to support and to stand for that office, he brings it. But president does not mean that is Dr. Sako, because tomorrow, definitely, he's going to leave that office and another person will take over the office and they will call him president. People don't like it, but we will need to be very fair in our judgment. Ayuk Tabe is the ex-president, the former president. The name president will never be removed, attached to him, the former president. Just like all the retired presidents of America and some in Africa, like President Obasanjo of Nigeria, he's still called president. He's called president not because he is on the throne. He is not on the throne, but he was a president. And as he was a president, he still remains a president till death. So that title, president, does not replace the name of the individual. When you just say president, you must put his identity to be identified. Which of the presidents are you talking about? The past, present, or future? So, Ambazonians, we will be teaching and learning as we go, so that tomorrow, if you hear that the president has done something, if there is the name of President Sako, then know that that attachment is significant. But when you just say president, of course, he is the one, but be rest assured that he's doing it for the Ambazonian people, not for him as an individual. So today, we want to call it quit for today in our history, and we will be coming to you with more so that you can learn and be able to follow that which is long lasting. Finally, on this note, I want to remind Ambazonians that so many people and so many groups have come out from the interim government, and your interim government is still standing strong. Structures are still standing firm, but managers of these structures are being changed. We wouldn't want to go into, we are not competing with anybody, but we are just telling you that the president has said we are going to Boya. And no matter the blackmailing and whatever, he is determined that we should go to Boya. And that is our point of focus. So any spirit of blackmailing and calamities calling upon, oh, he's done this and that, President Sako remains steadfast and strong. The Vice President, Comrade Ate, remains strong and focused. The Secretary of State for Communications, Dr. Martin Mungwa, is standing strong and focused. We are not to come on ABC and begin to dispute, but we must tell you that anybody speaking in the name of the Ambazonian people of this interim government and is out of ABC and is not talking anything positive, that person is not for us. A formal Secretary of State like Thibault Nash, as he's talking now, he's no more talking in the capacity in which he was talking before, but he is still the ex-secretary. So his words are not as powerful as they were when he was still standing and representing his government. So also, the former Secretary of State for this interim government is gone and gone. And now the Secretary of State for Ambazonia is Dr. Martin Mungwa. Come listen to him every Tuesday on the briefing. And of course, listen every now and then. I think the news is more often now than never with the chief of news, King Padita, bringing to us tidbits every day and most of the time to upgrade and update the Ambazonian people. I know why many people are a little bit scared of, because it is the truth. And the truth, as it is written, is a way that very few find it, because people want lies. So with that note, I want to let the Ambazonian people that we are on our way to Boya, and nothing, I mean nothing, is going to stop us from entering Boya. And if nothing is going to stop us from entering Boya, we want to crave your indulgence to join us in this particular fight, and let's get to Boya together. Long live the Federal Republic of Amazonia, short live the genocidal war, and of course, the people who have decided to work with the enemy, short live to you also. Because very soon when we are in Boya, you will not continue. God bless the people of Ambazonia, and see you again on Monday with details and truths and information from our historian, Comrade John Manga. Don't forget, invite other people if you want to know. I've heard people confess that they did not know what they now know, and they know it just because we have stood and we have resisted the enemy. Well, Ambazonians, thank you very much for paying attention and for listening to this interim government platform, ABC. We want to invite our Reverend, who will tell us how much our father knows Ambazonia. Abai Father. Over to you, Reverend Sama. Tell us how Abai Father knows.